Hey, what's up? Today, I'm going to tackle a problem I'm having with the EJ1 Civic. The headlight / turn signal switch wasn't working properly. I would turn the headlights on and the cluster wouldn't light up and the taillights wouldn't come on. So today, I'm going to try and swap it out. The donor Integra is already paying off. I haven't even started tearing into it, and I found out that this switch is the same one that is in my 95 Civic. So I am going to take it out in hopes that it solves my problem. The first thing I'm going to do is take out the screws that hold this cover on. There's one here. One here. Actually, there isn't one there. There's supposed to be. There's one here. And that should allow me to take this off. Wonderful. And now I can just lift this one out, no problem. Next, I'm going to take this connector out. And then I'll take this connector out. And now I'm going to remove these screws. And I hope I can just pull it out. Let's see. There we go. So I'm gonna go home and put this in the EJ1. So I'm gonna take off the same screws that hold this cover on the Civic as I did on the Integra. But I am gonna turn the wheel because it was nice to be able to go directly in at the screws that hold this in. So what I'm gonna do is turn the car on and cock the wheel like that. That'll give me a straight shot at those screws. I've taken them off in the past and had to use little knobby screwdrivers, so this will work a lot better. So here, I'm just removing the same 3 screws that the Integra had. They hold the bottom cover on. And then I separated the lower part of the steering column cover from the upper part and removed it. And just like on the Integra, this just can't come off. Break something. Man, look at all that dust. But just like the Integra, you have the exact same connectors connected to the switch, and you take them out, which for me in this case is easier said than done. I cannot get that off. Alright, I'm going to try something different. I am going to see if removing these screws will make it easier to get those connections off. Now, there's not much slack in those wires back there, but if this gives me a way to get a better grip on the connector, I'll take it. Alright. So the screws are out. So this should come out. Yeah. And let's see if that gives me a better access to the connectors. Actually, you can pull it all the way over like this, and that makes it a lot easier. Boom, and boom. This thing is sticky. Ugh. I wonder if that's from the previous owner or from when the kid threw that fountain drink in the car. Ugh. The one from the Integra is on the left, the one from the Civic is on the right. And they look identical from here. So I am going to wipe this one down, as it is disgusting too. Then I'm going to go ahead and install it and test it. Is that some sort of lubricant that leaks out? I think they should be this nasty. To make it easy on myself, I'm going to go ahead and put these connectors in first. Now, just going to slide it back home. Now replace the screws. All right, now to see if they work. They do. And it feels a lot less used than my other one, so that was an easy fix. But this next fix wasn't so straightforward. I had a leaking valve cover gasket, so I replaced it. But I am learning that sometimes it's good to go with the OEM parts. So I have learned that these D16 valve cover gaskets are problematic. This one started leaking. It's the one I installed recently. It didn't start leaking immediately, but it had started leaking after a few hundred miles. So I picked up an OEM one. Hopefully that'll solve the problem. I don't know how much this matters, but the OEM gasket, before you install it on the car, fits better than the Fel-Pro gasket did. I mean, the little half moon semicircle area there seats all the way in on both sides. And on the Fel-Pro, this wasn't the case. I just assumed that installing it on the car would make it seat properly. I don't know if that matters, but it looks better already. All right, so that is a new OEM valve cover gasket installed. I cleaned it up a bit. So let's see if it does better than the Fel-Pro. I'll check back in after a couple hundred miles. So since replacing the valve cover gasket, I've actually gone over 700 miles and everything is bone dry. So the OEM one does work better. But in that 700 miles, I did hit a bit of rain and my windshield wipers were not up to the task of keeping the windshield clear. So I threw on some new ones. If you'd like to follow along as I continue to maintain and improve my Civic, hit subscribe. If you want to see all the things I've already done, check out my playlist. Thanks for watching. Take care.